It's war.
Hey, what's up, man? It's Double A coming back at you. Trying to figure out what to call this shit. I wanted to call it Fuck Famous People. But then if I ever happen to meet someone that's sort of renowned in some aspect, I wouldn't be able to fucking talk to them. Wanted to call it Fuck Your Mother, but I've been advised that these type of titles won't attract hardly anyone with some kind of fucking nihilistic, drug-addicted punk rocker. Today's episode is called 5 Beers Deep, Sniffin Adderall. So I got this idea to sit here. It's like almost a diary of my thoughts as my thoughts get out of fucking control. And they start controlling me. It's like you got something on your mind. You're kind of walking the dog. You're at the position I'm at. The dog's walking you. And so it's almost like a journal. So I don't have to fucking write. I can just talk, figure shit out. And I've had this idea since I was featured on my homie Animal G Bong's Hero of the Day broadcast, which I was like a featured on a podcast, basically. It's fucking awesome. Shut up, cat. That's my cat, Kanga. It's all right, Kanga. So, yeah, check him out. Animal G Bong, his Hero of the Day broadcast. Great stuff, great stuff. He'll sit there and he'll school you on like how they're trying to hijack the United States and pass all this communist style legislation, create the race war, all this kind of stuff. I could get into it myself, but I don't want to alienate everyone yet. I guess I started this off by saying fuck your mother, so I guess I'm doing a pretty good job of that. Animal G Bong, Hero of the Day broadcast. And I was featured on that, and we had a great time talking about local shit, like old school war stories from growing up in Dover, drinking 40s, and, all that cool shit we used to do. And so that was awesome. We hit on a lot of topics, but got a little belligerent. I cut a promo for his show, to be honest with you. I made like a little caricature out of myself with my political beliefs. I'm, standing in front of a Gadsden flag with a shirt that says fuck communism. I was almost making fun of myself, but here it is.
This is Double A telling you to watch Animal G Bong's Hero of the Day broadcast, brought to you by Bush Breakfast of Champions. Oh yeah, don't forget to snap into a Negro. Facebook Live.
Yeah, so that was it. Anyway, I enjoyed that shit. So, I got a lot on my mind today, and I have no idea where to begin. This is kind of why I'm making this stuff, because I get stuck in my head, and I don't know what the fuck to do. It's paralyzing, and, yeah, that's about the gist of it. I had a good time chilling with my homie Barsh lately. We drove like 9 hours away to New Hampshire, climbed this mountain. This is like 4,000 plus feet above sea level, and it was pouring rain. I had a fucking poncho on with them trekking poles. Beast of a fucking mountain, man. It was like, and the weather couldn't be worse. So when you got to the top, you can only see like 10 feet away from you, because you were in the goddamn clouds. In the clouds, man. It's fucking awesome. And because when you're hiking, here's the thing. Here's the thing I hate about hiking. I love hiking, but you get to a certain point and you're like, oh, I gotta backtrack. I gotta get back to the car. Backtracking sucks because basically you're just walking the same damn path you just walked. And If you walked like 3 hours, you're walking 3 hours fucking back the same fucking way. So, you know, and we were thinking about that while we were climbing this mountain. So we arrived at this hut. There's like a little hut there, I guess, for people to, there's like food and like you can rent rooms out, I guess. A lot of these people are hiking the Appalachian Trail and they've been going at it for months. So this might be like useful to them. I don't know how they do that shit. You know, they start in like Georgia and they just go 4 months, man, like 20 miles a day. They actually made me feel a little bit demoralized. But you go to this hut, whatever, and then at that point we're like, man, I was like, let's get the fuck up this mountain, and it was a hard hike to get to that damn hut out in the middle of nowhere. And so that was the easy part, to be honest. After the hut, man, we went. It was fucking rough. We went up this mountain. Finally got to the top, and we met all these people that were hiking the Appalachian Trail, like the whole fucking thing. I don't know how they do that shit, but anyway, so instead of backtracking and taking the exact same route back from where we came, once we hit the top of this mountain, he had devised some route that we could take where we'd scale over another mountain and then back down. So we did that, and it was fucking exhilarating. I loved it. It was finally like a hike that I could contend with. I almost, you know what I mean? I almost wanted to stop by the end of it, which is fucking awesome because every time I hike, I mean, if I'm with someone, they get beat and they want to stop, and I'm like, dude, we just fucking started. Um, and but if I'm alone hiking, it's like I get to a point where I'm like, where am I gonna go from here? You know, I might as well just head back, do the backtrack. We hate the backtrack, so we took this extra route, went down went down some other way, and it was like unrelenting rocks. We're climbing down rocks. I have all these issues, like a pinched nerve in my neck, and my knee hurts from getting my knee kicked backwards at a mosh pit hardcore show, and other injuries that pretty much they don't, they go away and they get agitated and flare up every now and then. But on this particular hike, they were all going at the same time, and it hurt. But you know, maybe it wouldn't have been that bad if I didn't have these injuries. But I don't know, maybe it would have. But we're going down this really hard to, like, when you're going down a mountain, it's harder than going up because you you do not want to fall down, and it's real easy to fall when you're going downhill. So it was relentless. These rocks everywhere. You're just stepping on rocks. There's like no solid ground, no flat ground either. And it went on for a long time, and that's where we started getting tired. I was like, Jesus Christ, man, you know, but I still enjoyed it. It was fun. I didn't want it to really end, but my body was wearing out, which is great for someone like me. Uh, if I could just walk it off, man, and I can't seem to ever just walk it off. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. I just always got this energy inside me. You know, basically, I think it's from having a lot on my mind and shit. And your mind can control your energy levels. But we're going down this thing, and now we're down these rocks, which went forever. I didn't, you know what I mean? It was just, I guess you had to be there. But then we got to this part where there's just like water, crystal clear water, by the way, beautiful. But the thing is, there was like a lot of rocks, and the path went right into the fucking water and these rocks. And them rocks are fucking slippery. They're like smoothed out rocks. Um, Man, like a fine little layer of slime on top of them, and one wrong move and you're done. But I saw this one spot, and from where I was standing, it looked like I could just bend down where my ass is almost where my shoes are, and kind of like push myself a little and slide down this little fun part of a rock. What Well, what happened was I couldn't see. Like, this rock was a lot longer than I thought, and I just started sliding and picking up speed and picking up speed. I dropped my trekking poles, and I could not believe how fast I had started to go. And the big surprise at the end, there's a fucking ledge at the end of this rock. I flew off the ledge, and thank God there were some other rocks to break my fucking fall. So that hurt. And, but by then we only had like a mile left. So we got out of there, and that was fucking amazing. I really enjoyed that. I felt a good sense of accomplishment, which is like I think that's something that a lot of us are looking for, some kind of sense of accomplishment. And a lot of times I don't like accomplish shit, so I don't get that. I kind of just like I work a lot. I work pretty damn hard, and blue collar style work with machines and shit like that. And there's that, but not, you know what I mean? Fucking work. Get, you know what I mean? Like sense of like, no one really likes working. It does help me calm down to know that like if I have off, like there's a point in my life where I had like I was laid off of this company, and they gave me this information to get unemployment, and so I got it, and I was unemployed, receiving that check for like 6 months. And at first I'm like, oh fuck yeah, man, I got all this time to just chill. I don't have to work. Work is driving me nuts. Work's a lot of work, and yeah, so I'm like, I'll just grab my bong, just like smoke, take rips off this bong, lay around, watch TV, eat pizza, enjoy myself. Dude, after like a month of that, I was going crazy. I'm like, dude, I need to get a job. And I still went on through the whole 6 months of it, because what's your motivation? Once they cut my unemployment off, I had two jobs instantly. I was working 8 days a week. Like, I think that's, ain't that in a Beastie Boys song or something? Something about 8 days a week. Whatever, but I worked Monday through Friday as a contractor painting apartments. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I worked at a bar. So it was like Friday, I worked two jobs, like all fucking day. So that's why I say 8 days a week. What the fuck am I getting at? Oh yeah, sense of accomplishment, how necessary that is, because I know when I just slacked off and sat around like that, it drove me nuts. And I think I've seen people like this. They whatever the reason, they find some mode of life where they can kind of get away with not working. I don't know. Maybe there's someone else is paying the bills where they're crashing or whatever. I see these people and they look fucking depressed, man. And it's like a bad form of depression, man. It's like when you'd see someone, you know, suffering from a serious drug addiction. And it's almost worse than that, because it's like that you wake up, you have every fucking day off. Okay? You wake up over and over. It's like, why should you even wake up? So your sleep schedule, I've seen them, their sleep schedule starts flip flopping. It's like 4 in the afternoon, they're taking a nap and stuff. So that's why work's so damn important. You gotta work, or find, you gotta do something, man. And most people have to work because most of us aren't fucking rich. So anyway, back to this mountain. It was awesome. I felt this great sense of accomplishment afterwards. I was running off those fumes for days afterwards. I was telling all my buddies at work, and I don't know if I could. That's the thing. Like, I don't know. You had to be there, like, to describe something like that. Oh, I climbed this mountain. Okay. That's cool. So we got to change out this valve on station 13. It's like, they're working. They don't give a fuck. But that shit was awesome, man. Awesome. And then we had some conversations on the way. It's a 9-hour drive. So we had some conversations on the way back. And man, we had like pretty different viewpoints on a lot of things, social and political. And it was usually like situations where you see people getting fucking pissed at each other. I can't believe you think that, man. Blah 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 blah. And that, like, I think there's a big problem right now with people not listening to each other. So we all fucking hate each other. Like me and dude had very different opinions, and normally I would assume, based off some of his opinions, that he had other specific opinions. Come to find, we agree on a lot of shit. We only disagree on certain, like, almost philosophical points. And well, yeah, we agreed on a lot of shit, man. Just had to disagree on a couple things. Like, this is, basically we were talking about, the virus, that type of stuff. Wearing masks and shit. Those kind of things, which I'm real sensitive to and belligerent about almost when I speak of it. You know, I'm one of them fuck your mask people. I don't believe that you can't just tell me to put some shit on my face. But then, in that whole topic, then along with that, I'm like, you don't have the right to tell specific businesses to shut down. Like, what? That's insanity. And come to find out, dude agrees on a lot of that shit with me. But just anyway, I don't know how to put it, but that people need to start listening to each other. And let's see. What else do I want to talk about here? You could tell, can tell I'm on 5 beers deep sniffing Adderall, to be honest with you. So, yeah, hold on a second, guys. So, so there's this thing called Furnace Fest. I'm looking forward to going to in September, and I don't know how many hardcore fans there are out there from the '90s. Probably just me and my buddies. But this fest has got some bands that I thought wouldn't even be around anymore. And I'm just gonna read some off. It's got Zayo. I mean, if you don't know Zayo, their music, I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what to tell you other than go check them out. Because it's almost a crime if you've never heard Zayo. But I'm gonna read off from what I can see here is the entire list of bands. I might stutter over some because I don't know all the bands really, but Zayo, With Honor, Walls of Jericho, Unwed Sailor, Thursday, Terror, Terminal, Stave Saker, kick-ass band, CU Space Cowboy, Rivals, Reclaim the Empire, Open Hand, Narcissus, Luxury, Mr. ENC, If Die First, I don't know it. Haste, Glass Eater, Gideon, From Autumn to Ashes, Few Left Standing, Every Time I Die, and Emery, 18 Visions, Defeater, Converge, kick-ass band, Cave In, Astronoid. And then, like, that's Friday, and the headliner then is Under Oath, which, fuck them. Anyway, this is the second day. I think I'm going backwards alphabetically, so I don't know the exact order. But here's the Saturday. It's, shit, I don't even know. Torche Amore, I don't even know how to pronounce that shit. Stretch Armstrong, kick-ass band. Shea Hulud, kick-ass band. Scary Kids, Scaring Kids. Poison the Well, fucking right. Nominee, Misery Signals, Mineral, Me Without You, who I never heard of, and my buddies have been, you know, sending me songs here and there for me to check out. Mayday Parade, May, I don't know. Living Sacrifice, fuck yeah. Living Sacrifice is fucking awesome. Life in Your Way, Hopes Fall, ugh. He is Legend, Further Seems Forever, Forever Starts Today, Evergreen Terrace, The Darling Fire, Cartel Code 7, Blood, I can't even read that. The Bled, Better Off, Beloved, The Beautiful Mistake, The Appleseed Cast, Amberlin, All Get Out. And then the headliner for that is Taking Back Sunday. Bleh. So these headliners suck. So, it's good for people like me who can just leave and avoid the crowd. Sunday, again, I'm going backwards alphabetically for whatever fucking reason. On Earth, Turnstile, fuck yeah, I love Turnstile. Showbread, Piebald, Meadows, Love is Red, Light the Torch, Knocked Loose, fucking awesome. The Juliana Theory, the Judas Cradle, Hot Water Music. I think I remember those guys from back in the day. Holy God. Hatebreed just got canceled off the list, though. They're not going to be there. The Get Up Kids, they're pretty cool. Fit for a King, not a fan. Face to Face, Era, Darkest Hour. I remember those guys from back in the day. Counterparts, Copeland, Comeback Kid, they're pretty cool. The Casket Lottery, Boy Sets Fire. My ex-girlfriend liked them. You know, if that's useful to you. Be Well, Bad Cop. August Burns Red, which they're from around here, Pennsylvania. Lancaster, I think. As Friends Rust. WKS 68 I don't know, some other shit. I can't read it. And the headliner for that day is Kill Switch Engage, which I don't fucking like. So a lot of these bands, all three of the headliners, I don't care for. So that's good. Head back and avoid the traffic. A lot of those bands I don't really know, but a lot of them are from back in my heyday in the 90s or early 2000s or whatever. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I think that's in Alabama or something. So I'm looking forward to that shit. I haven't been to a show in a while. There was a couple recently I wanted to go to. Didn't get a chance. Madball, um, with some other kick-ass bands. I can't even remember. They were all kick-ass though. And shit, there's one coming up. It's like it's Earth Crisis, Snapcase, and Strife. So, some more like if you're in the 90s type hardcore bands. So that's gonna be awesome, and that's a fucking road trip we're gonna have to handle. And I'll report to you afterwards. You know, see how see what kind of war stories I got from that shit. Be traveling with my homies Luke, Mark, and Davo. Hopefully we can get into a little bit of trouble, have some fun. I don't know if there's what the mosh pit situation is going to be like with these masks and stuff, but I think drop kicking someone in the face might be breaking the 6 feet rule. So I'm not sure how that's going to happen, and if no one gets drop kicked in the face, I'm not sure anyone's going to have a good time. To be honest with you, the fuck's the dentist going to do if we stop having mosh pits? Oh my god, the dentist, dude! I've spent I spent $6 grand at the dentist now, and I got like 12 grand more in work I need to do, but that's all in the back of my mouth, and I don't eat chips anymore. So, I mean, I'll put it to you this way: potato chips fucking like stab your gums and shit if you got missing teeth. And like I had the front teeth missing, which made me look retarded. So I got that fixed. But the back teeth, I don't even fucking mind it anymore. Like I need two more bridges in the back, but I don't eat chips, so I don't fucking mind it. I got on this diet of eating like just meat and vegetables pretty much. Like so breakfast is like bacon and eggs, and then lunch I have like fucking I don't know, fish and vegetables or chicken and rice or some shit like that, and then straight up steak at night. And basically, you get so used to it that you look at junk food and get sick in the stomach. And I really experienced the effects of this when, all right, I was at my parents' house and they got like a fucking zombie apocalypse stash of food in their basement. And I was wandering through that and I found a box of Frosted Flakes. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to take these. They got like three of them. I'm going to take this one and go home. And I got some milk. Hadn't eaten cereal in forever. I remember the bacon and eggs thing. So I smoked a little weed, got the munchies, got out the Frosted Flakes, the bowl, the spoon, and the milk. I ate the whole damn box. And it took me like 6 months to recover and get back onto my standard diet, which proves to me that's how addicting sugar is. Because I've seen studies where they say sugar is more addicting than cocaine. You just don't notice because sugar's not fucking people up. But damn, is it addicting. You ever see them Pepsi people drink Pepsi all the time? It's like, dude, you know how much sugar's in that shit? It's like if you took a fucking Snickers bar the whole way down the Pepsi bottle, that's what it's still probably more sugar than that. But just think about it. Every time you're drinking a Pepsi, you're eating a goddamn fucking Snickers bar or some shit. Like, do you know how disgusted you feel if you ate like six Snickers bars in one day? That's also how I started seeing cigarettes because I used to smoke cigarettes and they'd make me sick in the stomach. I'd get nauseous, and because of my personality, I wouldn't know when to stop smoking them. Which is a big problem if you're gonna sit there and. So anyway, my point is, I started treating them like a fucking Snickers bar. If someone at work would like, yo, you want to smoke? I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking stressed today. And smoke one, it's like it's like I had a Snickers bar. And no one eats 20 goddamn Snickers bars in a day. So why are you smoking 20 cigarettes in a day? A whole pack. I come up with that philosophy and it works. But for me, cigarettes weren't all that addicting like I see they are for other people. For me, everything else was fucking addicting. Everything. But not really cigarettes. Like I said, I smoked them before, but that's basically because I was doing other shit and I didn't have nothing else to smoke. That's really how I started smoking cigarettes, waiting for a dude to bring my bag of weed. And I'm like, well, I can smoke this thing a while. It's like, yeah, but it ain't gonna fucking get you high. And it still causes cancer. The fuck, man? If it's gonna kill me, I might as well cop a buzz off it. That's the way I think of it. So, and there's that. And then, what am I talking about? The diet. Yeah, this is a diet, dude. And I feel bad for people that are extremely overweight and they're doing cardio every day. Like, you can lose weight effortlessly if you just fucking start eating meat and vegetables and get off the carbs. You would just lose the weight. You don't even got to do nothing. Just the weight will start pouring off, and don't worry about fucking fat. That's bullshit. That whole thing where you shouldn't have a lot of fats, that's fucking horseshit. You shouldn't have a lot of carbs, you know? And so I see a lot of people, and I think a lot of people are overweight because of their lack of knowledge about nutrition. It's not because they eat so much. You know what I mean? If you see someone that's like 250, 300 pounds, you think they really eat that much? Like, that's a lot of food they'd have to eat. No, they eat the wrong fucking foods. Because how carbs work, I mean, this is going to be another one of those things where I don't articulate it properly, but let's say like let's say you eat a bunch of food, fats and proteins and shit, and that's energy. And if you burn that energy off or use that for energy, it will burn off fat automatically. Well, protein actually spikes insulin a little bit, but you get my point. When you throw carbs on top of that, it burns the carbs first. So if you're eating very little fat and protein and a ton of carbs, sugars, pasta, bread, um, all these things are sugar actually, potatoes and bread and pasta and stuff like that. And basically anything you buy at the grocery store that has a fucking wrapper on it that says nutrition facts is garbage, you know? So all that, so basically you're putting shit on top of the fat and protein to use as energy that'll burn off first. So if you're like a marathon runner, you want to eat a bunch of carbs because that'll burn off first and give you a little boost. But generally speaking, you don't even want to eat fucking carbs, but that's all people eat. And it's not good for you, and sugar's not good for you. That's how you get type 2 diabetes. But if you stick with fat and meat and vegetables, you're golden. You will lose weight without fucking trying. But I see people, they think they got to do like an hour of cardio a day, and they're killing themselves, making themselves miserable because they're fucking fat. And I just think they don't understand how it works. That's what I think. And I think we do a terrible job as a society in trying to explain these things. I think I do a terrible job trying to explain these things. So, yeah, I feel like it's super easy, and you feel healthy as a motherfucker. And after that point, when you start eating healthy, you find that you can actually do an hour of cardio, and you feel good, But try doing an hour of cardio after you just ate a giant plate of nachos, cheese fries, and bullshit. You're gonna get fucking dizzy and shit. It's not gonna work. Speaking of work, I was talking about work earlier, and you might have been able to tell from the way I was talking about it. I've derived a lot of pride from work, and over the years, like for forever since I started working. Basically, I'm epileptic. I got to take meds, or I go off into seizures. You go into seizures for too long, you get brain damage. Eventually you probably die. I don't know how it operated back in the day. It was called falling sickness, and they thought you were demon possessed, and they banished you from the village and stuff like that. There's a kick-ass band called Falling Sickness, but it actually sounds better than epilepsy. Falling sickness. But anyway, I had no options moving out of my parents' house. Like, I couldn't not take my meds, and they were expensive. So I got a job in a factory where we powder coated. It was a powder coating place. You know, we brought in like air conditioned units and Harley Davidson bikes and all kinds of different customers, and we powder coated that shit and sent it back. So that was like my first real job, my first man's job. Before that, I was working washing dishes, working at McDonald's, which McDonald's was fucking fun to work at, by the way. Brought in a bottle of vodka and mixed it with their orange juice, drank that shit all day. Loved it. But this was my first real job, and I got health insurance from it to pay for my meds. And it was like a brutal job. I wasn't prepared for it because I was a fucking slacker when I went in there, and it was like boot camp. So after like a month, I was like like a different person, blue collar hardcore, I call it. And so I derived a lot of pride from that. And I kept on with those hard jobs. Been working these type of shit jobs my whole life. Blue collar, manufacturing, that type of stuff. Working with machines. I love machines, man. Big ass complicated fucking machines. I understand machines better than I do people. If there's something wrong with the machine, there's actually some kind of way to fix it. And you can figure out and pinpoint what it is. With a person, uh, good fucking luck. I can't even understand myself. Uh, but yeah, there's like, it's not necessarily good to derive your pride from your work like that because I always, the way I thought I had to be the best and the baddest because I was kind of used to that. I was kind of used to my bosses being like, yo, you got this. Why don't you go work on this thing over here? Or I should trust you to do this or that. Let's get you doing more. I was used to that. But I got this new job. I mean, it's not new now. It's in the story I'm telling. It's new. And I kicked ass at it from day one. They're like, dude, you can handle this. You got it down already. The concept anyway. You just need to work on the details, like the mechanical shit aspect of it. And I was like, fuck yeah, man. It was like a big deal to me. Me and my buddies would go to the bar after work. Your typical blue collar story: work hard, play hard, all that shit. And but after a while, the place started changing. They were adding new equipment, new employees came in. My drinking buddies left, went to other jobs, and then these new people come in, and they start speaking like they know it, like they know what they're talking about. And I'm like, fuck these jokers, man. Come in here like that. After a while, man, they started doing better than me at the fucking job, and I didn't know what to think. I went down this fucking tunnel in my head, this rabbit hole of nonsense, and eventually I just had to humble myself and say, you know what, man? Maybe deriving all your pride, maybe I should say it like that, from work is a disaster. Because what about when someone does better than you? At that job, like obviously there's no such thing as a better or worse person because we're all made up of complicated, different ball of madness that we've developed throughout our life. We all operate differently. I actually have more of an abstract creative mind, which is strange that I work on detail oriented machinery for a living. And it might just have been that default I needed my meds thing that, 15 years later, I'm still running off the fumes of. But either way, I had to humble myself eventually and realize, hey, other people are doing good, good for them. You know, it's not gonna help me to kind of try to bring them down. So good. I'm glad these people are doing good. And I don't have to be the best and the baddest at this particular job. There's other things in my life that I do, and just to do my best at the job is really all I can ask of myself. So and I bring this up because this is an issue I see in our country and everything around us is people are jealous of successful people, and they, instead of just saying good job, man, it certainly didn't hurt me for you to do that. They turn all kinds of weird, angry. Wait, they've gone through all kinds of rabbit holes and repeated that shit to other people, and basically this country's just turned into a big mess at this point. And you might say, oh, well, the rich people are screwing all the fucking poor people out of everything and this and that, and that's that's a whole other conversation onto itself. Well, I can make the argument for that. There are people that are super successful and they just keep getting better and better, and then there's a bunch of people that start piling up at the bottom that really aren't doing so well. But we've always had a way of keeping that in check because in this country we've always been pretty center, all things considered. Right now we're fucking split. But and one of the reasons I think that is because of this whole not being able to humble yourself thing. If someone else is fucking rich, it doesn't hurt you. You do the best you can do. And that's about all you can ask of yourself, man. And these people, I don't even think they realize it. I think there's like a, man, like I get stuck in these mindsets. I talk about that all the time. But it's like, there's a difference between feeling compassionate for the poor and feeling anger and resentment towards the rich. And resentment is serious fucking shit. It starts off a certain way and it ends up in just straight up violence and murder. Like every time. This has happened in a lot of countries. It's not like something I'm just fucking making up as I go. Like this shit is serious. And I think this is a big fucking issue right now. If you turn the media off, turn your TV off, your whatever it is now, it's not just TV, it's like YouTube, fucking everything you turn on. Like I go to search something on Google and it's got some political shit popping up. I'm like, fuck you, man. I'm trying to search for some shit. I'm not in the mood for that shit right now because it basically just makes me feel awful. But you turn that shit off and you go about your day, it's like what that TV wants you to think ain't really happening. You know, it's like just enjoy your personal life, build yourself up, strengthen yourself, be there for your family. If you really want to get into politics, wouldn't you start with your local township or borough? Like you think you're that fucking good that you're going to go straight to the feds and reorganize the whole fucking country? That's how smart you are? You know what I mean? That's how fucking smart you think you are. Now, I think maybe you have a way, an idealistic way of looking at things that's not realistic. And a lot of it's, for a lot of people, is driven by resentment. And this is something that I don't think people understand how dangerous resentment can be and what it can lead to. And I would actually like to read a passage out of the Bible that speaks on this shit. The Bible is a kick-ass book. I've been reading it again lately. And yeah, badass fucking book. Lots of fucking cool shit in there. Lessons full of wisdom, you know, all kind of revelations, fucking trippy ass shit, all kind of like, I don't know, the Old Testament's got a lot of violence and shit in it too, if you know, you like that shit. But most of it is based around some kind of like lesson or story. It's a little tangent on the Bible. Because a lot of people think it's fucking, a lot of people have preconceived ideas of it based on fundamentalism, which it's a whole nother topic. All I keep doing is spinning off on other topics though. So, but anyway, I'm going to read this, the story of Cain and Abel. Okay. Okay, I found it here. All right. Cain and Abel. Adam and Eve had a son. Then Eve said, I'll name him Cain, because I got him with the help of the Lord. Later, she had another son and named him Abel. Abel became a sheep farmer, but Cain farmed the land. One day, Cain gave part of his harvest to the Lord, and Abel also gave an offering to the Lord. He killed the firstborn lamb from one of his sheep and gave the Lord the best parts of it. The Lord was pleased with Abel and his offering, but not with Cain and his offering. This made Cain so angry that he could not hide his feelings. The Lord said to Cain, What's wrong with you? Why do you have such an angry look on your face? If you had done the right thing, you would be smiling, but you did the wrong thing, And now sin is waiting to attack you like a lion. Sin wants to destroy you, but don't let it. Cain said to his brother Abel, "Let's go for a walk." And when they were out in the field, Cain killed him. Afterwards the Lord asked Cain, "Where is Abel?" "How should I know?" he answered. "Am I supposed to look after my brother?" Then the Lord said, "Why have you done this terrible thing? You killed your own brother." And his blood flowed onto the ground. Now his blood is calling out for me to punish you. And so I'll put you under a curse, because you killed Abel and made his blood run out of the ground. You will never be able to farm the land again. If you try to farm the land, it won't produce anything for you. From now on, you'll be without a home, and you'll spend the rest of your life wandering from place to place. "This punishment is too hard," Cain said. "You're making me leave my home and live far from you. I will have to wander about without a home, and just anyone could kill me." "No," the Lord answered. "Anyone who kills you will be punished 7 times worse than I am punishing you." So the Lord put a mark on Cain to warn everyone not to kill him. But Cain had to go far from the Lord and live in the land of wandering, which is east of Eden. And so, just like I did, a lot of people think the Bible is fucking ridiculous. And rightfully so, because they were always taught to treat it like literally. And I don't mean to anyone that's a fundamentalist Christian, I don't mean to insult you, because a lot of you are really fucking nice people, well grounded and nice people. But to me, thinking of the Bible in literal terms is a little fucking ridiculous. But anything, I always believe you should take anything with a grain of salt. Like, I used to go to AA meetings because I figure these people, man, I bet they have something to say about impulse control problems. So I'd sit in those meetings, and a lot of shit they said I thought was fucking stupid, man. I was like, I come here to kind of get some help and to figure out how to control some of these things, and you're trying to indoctrinate me into a cult, which is basically what it seemed like they were doing. But what I did was I sat in those meetings and I listened to everyone else, and some of those people had good fucking things to say. They really did. So I took that. That didn't mean I had to fucking do the 12 steps. I don't like finding everyone you wronged and apologizing for them. Maybe that makes you feel better, but you just hashed up a bunch of fucking ancient shit and made people remember it. A lot of them might not have even fucking remembered that shit. But so I do that with the Bible, man. I don't really take it literally, but I view it as like a bunch of like mythologies packed with wisdom. And this story, Cain and Abel, I I really wish a lot of people in this country would read that shit. Anger and resentment. You might not think it's that big a deal until you see someone fucking murder somebody over it. And that's what I see in these Antifas and shit. It's like a bunch of fucking resentful, angry mobsters. So, yeah, so there's a lot of good lessons in that book. I've spoke about a lot of different weird shit just now. I don't even remember what I started on. I remember my cat had walked in the kitchen here and meowed at me. I said, "Fuck you, cat," and then I felt bad, so, I pet her. My cat's fucking awesome. This cat was going into heat, and it was like you could see on its face, it's like, I'm so sorry, I can't stop myself." It like stick its butt in the air and like cry, and I'm like, dude, I can't fucking help you with that shit. And because originally I didn't get the cat spayed because of a moral issue. I'm like, dude, if I can't have a talk with this cat about getting its genitals chopped up, then I can't do it. 'Cause that's a big choice. I didn't know though. I didn't know how crazy cats got when they were in heat like that. And this cat was being tortured. I could see it in its face. It kept rubbing up against my leg, and I'd kind of push it away, and it'd look at me like, I'm sorry, I know what I'm doing, but I can't stop. So eventually I'm like, fine, I'll take the cat to the vet and get her spayed. Took the cat to the vet, got her spayed, and they put a fucking cone on her head when she came back. And I let it go for a couple of days, but then I saw the cat like trying to get the cone off. And I was like, fuck this shit. The cat's fine. I took the cone off its head. And then one day I see the cat, it's got a fucking hole in its stomach, man. It ate its stitches out. You could see like the muscle tissue and shit. The cat was fine, acting like nothing happened. But it had a fucking hole in its stomach. So then my license is suspended right now for a bunch of stupid bullshit. I don't want to keep going off on a million different tangents, but so I called, I texted a bunch of people. I'm like, ain't no one's fucking available right now to help me get to the vet. So I called the Uber and they let me bring the damn cat in the fucking car. Took it to the vet and they stitched her back up. They put a cone on her head. I left that fucking cone on for 14 days. And this time they had to put stitches on the outside since it had already been stitched up. So, yeah, I left the cone on for 14 days, took the cat back, got the stitches out, and now this cat is fucking playful. I see it running and chasing after shit that don't even exist. Like it's in a state of psychosis or some shit. Been up all night on stimulants or some dumb shit like that. But yeah, the cat's having a great time. You know, cat's a lot better than it was. And I'm real happy about that. Me and the cat fucking watch sci-fi movies together, while I'm smoking, maybe crushing some beers. It's my buddy. It's my chill buddy. So that concludes today's episode entitled Five Beers Deep Sniffin' Adderall. And at this point, I believe I just took in like 60 milligrams of Adderall. So I don't know what to call this shit yet, but I'm going to have to call it right now. So you guys peace out. Have fun. I'm going to have to go clean my entire house now, wash my dishes, do this, that, and the other thing. So, yeah. Vete a la mierda, puta.